Above me, I saw no shadow. I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. My best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Owlet Season 3.9 playoffs. Today, we have got some matches in the loser bracket leading up to the semifinals. Blues Clues Bandit versus Spongebob Mac and Cheese. Both teams coming off of tough losses, but they want to build themselves back up, get into those loser semifinals, and try to get their way to the finals. Jampy, how do you feel about this match going into it?
I hope it's going to be a close match. Like you said, both these teams got a little bit beat up, but hopefully it's some good competitive Overwatch tonight. We're going to expect to see a variety of different playstyles on this first map, and it's basically going to be anyone's fight here.
Absolutely. Both teams didn't really put much of a fight up in their last game. Both teams going down fairly easily. So it'll be interesting to see if these teams can come back with a vengeance, and we'll see how they stack up with each other. Blues Clues Bandit did have the better season. SpongeBob Mac and Cheese behind them, only 2 wins. Blues Clues Bandit with 4. Do you think that gives Blues Clues Bandits an advantage going into this match, or do you think SpongeBob Mac and Cheese are completely equal?
It's hard to say. It kind of depends on what the teams have been doing in preparation up to this. I know many of the teams coming into finals will get some more scrim blocks in, polish some strats, maybe even do some investigation, see what the other teams are doing, looking at their VODs, things like that. It kind of depends on the level of commitment that we see from the teams coming into this final series.
Yeah, we've definitely seen preparation play a huge part, and we've seen a lot of these teams' communication, things like that preparation. We haven't really seen a solid meta develop so far, and the teams that have been doing the best have really been the teams that have been able to prepare really well and play their game and counter the other person's game. Now, going into Oasis as our first map, it's a map that plays very differently on all 3 points. So do you think we're going to see that brawl on University, and then we'll see more of a dive kind of style on the other points?
We definitely could. It as usual, especially at this SR, it may come down to comfort picks, like we've seen in the past. But I would be very happy to see some dive. That's always very exciting to watch, and you can really see the strong players shine in those types of compositions.
Absolutely. We've seen people absolutely dominate on their comfort picks. We saw this last game with Kirby, who was absolutely dominating on the
Baby.
Genji, which is not a pick that you see too often, but he made it work. So we'll see if we can come to this today. And what do you think is really going to be the turning factor for these teams, the thing that's going to pull them ahead, going to get them into that loser semifinals? And what do you think is going to be and send another team home?
Really, it really does come down to working as a team and being able to make those clean, decisive decisions together. When you get your whole team on the same wavelength, you call for commitments, your shot callers make the call, your rotation callers make the call, and the lack of hesitancy and that trust that you've developed throughout the season is really what will allow the teams to shine at this point. At this point, they've had lots of hours together, so it really is just come out here and show off your best game.
Absolutely, and as we go into our first round, this is in the losers bracket. The team that loses here will be going home. They will be out of the playoffs. So both teams fighting for their lives here. As we go into University, we will be seeing the Ryan Zarya from both teams and on May, but we are going to see a difference. Keegan on the Doomfist, while Omen on the McCree. Otherwise, completely mirror. What do you think of that difference going into this?
I think it'll depend if the Doomfist can get in and get out, or get in and get 2 picks. Doomfist really has to commit, and he kind of needs to be bailed out when things get spicy. So we'll see if his team, Spongebob, can support that.
Absolutely, but it looks like SpongeBob Mac and Cheese taking the advantage, going in first, taking a better positioning, and now Blue's Clues Bandit forced to try and push in. Leo tries to use the wall to split some people off, but the Immortality Field is there to keep them alive, and Goliath is going to be taken down by Keegan. And now the rest of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese in a full-on retreat. Such is going to get frozen, gets taken down, and this is going to be a quick first cap coming in for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I didn't expect to quite roll out that way. They had a good wall on the side of Blue's Clues, but weren't really able to capitalize with a pick on the main tank. So we'll have to see how they approach this next point.
Yeah, and Jack now hiding for that flank shatter. We'll see if we can get it with Blue's Clues Bandit now grouping up. Now, ult. It is the ult online. They don't see him. Omen does spot him out, but he gets the ball from Nico, manages to save him from that flashbang, and now kills coming in onto Goliath. Sage is now split off from their team, so they are going to get taken out. However, Leo on the mage tries to save him, but gives their life, and now it's going to be another just quick cleanup fight here for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese.
That pick did come out on the side of Blue's Clues, so they have some momentum here coming out again, and they have a few ults. I'd like to see a Shatter and High Noon. That would be really strong here, but you do have to win that Reinhardt 1v1 mental game.
Yeah, and now it looks like the wall being good, and now the grab onto the ice while the amplification matrix came out, but no value, as now the blizzard gets thrown in, and Keegan is back. Beat from Hungary due to keep his team alive before, but not before Madison goes down. Jack trades it out, but Jack gets taken down for it, and it looks like kills are coming in for both sides. Keegan on that Doomfist putting in work, but more kills are on the side of Blue's Clues Bandit in this moment, and it looks like they are going to be flipping this point. Keegan, however, finding 3 kills on his own in that fight, so definitely not the worst case scenario for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese.
Yeah, this is a difficult position to hold for Blue's Clues. They have they can only really lose one fight here before it's going to turn in the favor of SpongeBob. So they really have to make their ultimates count. We have a High Noon and a beat coming out as SpongeBob's pushing point.
Yeah, Keegan on that. Keegan now switching over to the McCree off the Doomfist. It's going to be pretty difficult to split in now. Mustard Man with the wall tries to split someone off, and a big shatter coming out from Jack. Catches a couple. Goliath with the shatter catches 3, but the Immortality Field is there to protect his team as Madison and Omen get traded out. Now both teams just brawling it out, and kills coming in for both sides. SpongeBob Mac and Cheese with the slight man advantage here. Mustard Man just trying to keep himself alive in that ice block, but kills are coming in for Blue's Clues Bandit, and they have a man advantage, and they will be able to hold just for the moment, now building up to 50%.
And that's the team play that you see. You notice that Blue's Clues managed to stick together through that chaotic fight, and in the end they managed to isolate some key targets and burn them down.
Early High Noon coming out from Omen just to drone them out, but the wall is right there for Mustard Man just to deny that sightline. Did catch Goliath, but he was able to get it. Keegan going in with a very aggressive roll, but Suchi is going to try to punish that aggression with the grab, and now the Blizzard is out from Leo to catch 4 members of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese, and ults all over the place, and Blue's Clues Bandit coming out on top. And now Such is just going to follow up. The Blizzard catching so many members and just being able to clean up that fight. Keegan now back over to the Doomfist after using the High Noon, so we'll see how that goes. Now it is going to be final fight here for Blue's Clues Bandit, and Keegan now off that side just for the touch. The amplification matrix out from Sage just to zone them out, and now Keegan is going to get the touch as the rest of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese rotates in. The wall tries to split people off, but Leo gives his life for it as Hungary also goes down. It's just Nico on the point for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese, but he's just gonna be charged up, and they will be able to flip the point. Such does get Madison, but it's a heavy man advantage in the in favor of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese, and they will be flipping this point, and now Blue's Clues Bandit has one more chance to try and win this round.
They really have to scramble to get back on time here. They got a little bit staggered in that last engagement, which does not help them. However, they do have a high noon. Maybe they can get some value, but they have to contest a big shatter.
But massive shatter comes out, and the kill onto Leo is definitely not going to help the aggressive hold from SpongeBob Mac and Cheese paying off, and they won't even be able to touch the point.
Wow, what a fight for first round here.
0-1.
That was a really well-played aggressive hold from SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. They knew they had ults, and they just used them to stall Blue's Clues Bandit and made it so they wouldn't even be able to touch that point.
Indeed, yeah. Once it's coming down in time like that, if you can push up and you just catch the first person out of that spawn door, make it into a 1v6 followed by another 1v6 as they scramble for the point, it's basically game over at that point.
Yeah, and now we are going to see Leo over to that far. Keegan going to be sticking to the Doomfist. Not something we see too often, but he has been making it work. Now it looks like Blue's Clues Bandit will be going for the semi-dive with the Sigma, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's almost like a combination between poke and dive on Blue's Clues versus a standard brawl comp on SpongeBob.
Yeah, now Leo already doing so much damage with the damage boosted Mercy. Catches Keegan, that Doomfist not being able to do too much to the Pharah. And now SpongeBob Mac and Cheese are just trying to collapse on the back line of Blue's Clues Bandits. And they do find Sage, but not before Leo gets Madison in the meantime. Golia jumping in against Jack, but he just can't take the hammer swings. But as that goes on, Leo finding two more as Golia gets taken down. Now the res onto Goliath as Mustard Man takes down Such, but Leo has just been picking off the entirety of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese this entire time, and Blue's Clues Bandit will take the first cap.
Very interesting composition by Blue's Clues. I really like their poke and then just the dive. It's pretty slow to finish them off. We have no ultimates that close here, so it's going to be another dry fight other than the pulse bomb on the side of Blue's Clues.
Yeah, and with the amount of damage that Leo's been doing, he probably will get this barrage very quickly. Nico and Keegan both over to the Diva and the McCree respectively to try and counter this far, but a huge anti-aid from Sage onto the support of SpongeBob are definitely going to slow them down. The Pulse Bomb, however, eaten by Nico, very good awareness there to save his team. So it's going to look like a bit of a soft reset here for the side of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese as they once again get antied. Goliath does get walled off, but he is a Winston. He will be able to just jump right out. And now with Madison back, SpongeBob Mac and Cheese are going to try and commit to this fight. No ults up. Madison is going to have the window, however. And Goliath going down is definitely going to help their case. Not exactly a resible position for Orchestra. Blue's Clues Bandit going to be fighting a 5v6. Such out with the Gravitic Flux, and now the barrage out onto Keegan. Hungary, however, with the beat keeping his team alive through the Flux. And now Omen gets taken out by Mustard Man, and now the point is getting capped on the side of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. It's so close, but the Such is just stalling that point out. Madison, now with the Amplification Matrix, is trying to keep their team up. Such gets frozen up, but is able to live with the help of Orchestra on the Mercy. Leo is getting forced out here by Nico. However, kills are coming in for the side of Blue's Clues Bandit as Goliath with that Primal finds one. And this is looking really good for the side of Blue's Clues Bandit, and they're going to be able to flip the fight over and going to be able to hold it. Now it is going to be final fight. This has been one very long fight, so ults are going to be on for both sides, so we'll see if SpongeBob Mac and Cheese can even touch here. Hungry Dude comes in at the last minute, and now Nico with the bomb finds Suit. The pulse and Goliath gets knocked off the edge by the bomb. Jack finds Orchestra, so it's looking good here for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. They have to win this fight to stay in this round. Sage and Omen, the only remaining ones on the point, just with Leo, and it looks like they will be taken care of just shortly. This point still has not flipped, but Sage is the only one left, and it doesn't look like the Honor is going to be able to stall it out for much longer.
That is the type of fight you look for SpongeBob, right? Or sorry, for Blue's Clues. You force them to use ults, they take a really long engagement, and then they just trickle trying to win a fight that they think they can win, but they're never able to clean it up. That really hurts. You have a couple of ults. It's going to be basically two big ults, a Blizzard versus a Flux, to see who can get the early picks here.
Yeah, but Blue's Clues Bandits only needs to win one fight here to secure the round and send us to send us to a third round of Oasis. They've looked much better on the Pharah. Mustard Man a bit out of position with the ice block, but he is going to be able to wall himself off. But Sage goes down, but Jack and Mustard get traded out. Madison now with the amplification matrix. Omen pulses but doesn't find anything, and Sage is very quickly rezzed up. The beat there from Hungary just to keep himself alive goes on to two others, but Leo finds Madison. In the meantime, Keegan with the pulse bomb can't find anything. A Blue's Clues Bandit look to close out the second round of Oasis. The minefield now out from Jack just to try and find anything, but Goliath on that primal rage is just knocking people all about. Jack is off the edge. Mustard Man on the May now has to touch in the ice block. He's just trying to find a miracle, trying to find anything, but he gets quickly dispatched up. Now the nano from Sage just to clean it up. Hungary goes down, Nico gets dispatched up, and now the overtime ticker is ticking down. Madison on the Moira, just a last gasp. Now Jack is back on that wrecking ball, just trying to find something. Slams through, but it's not gonna matter, and now the overtime ticker ticks down, and we'll be going to a third round of Oasis.
Wonderful performance by Blue's Clues. It's very interesting comp. It's difficult to play into when you're Spongebob because you're playing that that speed brawl comp with the Lucio. But who do you speed on? You can't go on the Pharmacy, you can't go on the Monkey, so that leaves you basically Anna and Sigma. But the pair of them together, they can just exist and exist, while the Fair is just pumping damage into your backline. Very, very well played by Blue's Clues.
Absolutely. Leo on that far just putting so much pressure onto everyone from SpongeBob Mac and Cheese, so SpongeBob Mac and Cheese was never able to play the game they wanted. Now it looks like Blue's Clues Bandits will be sticking to that comp that did so well for them, and we're seeing a very interesting comp coming out from SpongeBob Mac and Cheese here. Keegan on the Echo, the double aerial assault from SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. We are going to see the Faramir here. Now, it's a very scrappy fight so far, as is with these dives. Keegan alone on the point as Mustard Man takes himself out, but also takes Goliath with him as Madison gets taken down by Leo. So man advantage here for the side of Blue's Clues Bandit as Hungary gets killed. In the meantime, Nico gets demech. It's not looking good here for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese as Sage gets taken down by Jack, but that's the only kill they're gonna get. As Sage, she gets res right back up, and it looks like Blue's Clues Bandit taking the first cap.
So it looks like Jack at the end there identified the problem. The Anna basically is what needs to die in their composition. She's the easiest one to get on, but when it happens that late in the fight, it just doesn't matter. There are no ults coming out quite yet, except a barrage coming up soon. So we'll have to see what kind of value Leo can get from that.
Yeah, Leo just challenging Keegan and Mustard Man by himself, so a bit of a ballsy play, but it does work out for him. He is still alive, so we'll see who can win this Pharah Echo duel versus in the sky as Mustard Man with some beautiful shots to disconnect Leo from their mercy as Mustard Man now goes over the top. Keegan takes out Orchestra. Mustard Man takes down Sage, the double aerial assault, needing so much attention, and now the point is gonna flip over to the side of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese.
Perhaps my analysis is a little bit off. If you manage to two-tap the Pharah, that's a good way to head into that fight. Tough to do on Pharah though.
Yeah,
ults coming up from both sides. We're looking at a minefield from SpongeBob along with a barrage, and then a sticky from Blue's Clues, and another barrage on the other side. So if value's got us from either barrage, it may end the fight very early.
Switches, however, coming out from Blue's Clues Bandit. Omen off the Tracer, gonna forego the Pulse Bomb just for the McCree pick as Goliath goes over to the ball. So we'll see how well they push it into this as Jack just rolls through. Keegan immediately copies the McCree and just gets instantly taken out by Leo, so a very low value ult there. As Mustard Man, however, with his barrage, takes down two and lives to see another day. Jack takes out Sage. In the meantime, Hungary just Valkyrie in that Valkyrie form, keeping his team alive, and SpongeBob Mac and Cheese are gonna overtake Blue's Clues in terms of percentage.
Yeah, that was a fantastic barrage. Usually I like to get two and die. Living is just bonus points at that. There. So Blue's Clues is gonna have a lot of ults to retake here compared to a minefield and the Diva Bomb, but that minefield can get 2 picks, that Diva Bomb might get a pick, so it can definitely swing either way in this late fight.
Yeah, and Blue's Clues Bandit, we saw Omen over there for the Widow for just a second, trying to get a pick out of spawn, but it just wasn't meant to be. Now the Pharah is just dueling each other in the sky, trying to find something as Nico sends the bomb, tries to get the Pharah but Leo is out of there as Leo barrages, takes down Madison, but he's so exposed and gets taken down by Keegan immediately as the minefield splits the team of Blue School's Bandits. Such is just in the road and trying not to get run over as Keegan gets taken down, but not before he finds two with the stickies, and Blue School's Bandit are just in absolute disarray. Such is in the enemy backline as he gets taken down. And now, well, it's gonna be up to Goliath to try and touch this point for the overtime. It's not looking great here for the side of Blue School's Bandit, but Mustard Man goes down, but Leo has to give his life for that kill, and it's a massive man advantage here for the side of Spongebob Mac and Cheese on the point as overtime is just ticking down. Goliath goes down, Sage with the nano trying to force something in as Omen gets nanoed, but kills are just coming in for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. The man advantage is too much. Omen gets taken out by a quick direct rocket, and that's going to be the first round going the way of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese.
Wow, what a ball play there. You can definitely see the effect that the chaos that ball has going in there, splitting up the teams and just, like you said, causing absolute disarray.
Yeah, that ball, even with the 25% knockback reduction on his grapple, still showing itself to be a very strong pick here. Goliath and Jack both showing themselves to be fairly proficient. However, we did see Leo on that far. He was doing a lot on that far, providing so much pressure on that, but it just wasn't enough for his team to win this match, and now we will be going into our second round. And what do you think was the main reason that SpongeBob Mac and Cheese were able to just take that first round?
They worked really well as a team, and they did manage to stick together a lot of the time. You saw in a lot of those fights, Blue Schools was getting sorry, I'm getting mixed up. SpongeBob was getting a little bit split up, but by the ball and by some of the chaos, it really came down to team cohesion at the end of the day. If they can stick together and work together, that's where you get into the 2v1 fights, the 3v2 fights, things like that, where they can just force you into a corner and commit on a kill.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw a lot of this very separated play sometimes from Blue School's Bandit as they just got knocked around by Jack's Wrecking Ball. So it just they just weren't able to get a real clean team fight that round, and SpongeBob Mac and Cheese were kind of able to snowball that third round.
The positioning was definitely a lot stronger by SpongeBob for the most part.
Absolutely, and it looks like we will be going into Rialto for our second map. It has proved to be a fairly good ball map in the past, so it'll be interesting to see if these teams decide if they want to play the brawl or if they want to stick to the ball in the meantime. What do you think is going to be the pick for these teams going into this, and what do you think is going to give them the best chance of success?
It can easily go either way. For me, I personally prefer ball defending. It seems to be a little bit more easy to cause that chaos because you have your team sitting on high ground in very strong positions, and you can just knock them around and then collapse on whatever's remaining, basically. But you can definitely run a lot of different compositions on this map, so we're really just going to have to see what they pick at the hero select screen here.
Yeah, we'll see in just a second as we get into it. Blue School's Bandit will be on the defense, and they will be playing the double bubble with the Echo Tracer, not something we haven't seen before. Now, Keegan on the Genji, we'll see if he sticks to it. Mustard Man on that far, a signature pick of his. We've seen Mustard Man on the far countless times, so it is not especially surprising to see him there now.
I do like the Echo pick here. There's a lot of rooftops you can surf. You can just use your fly to surf the rooftop, land on a squishy, sticky them, and just fly right back away before you can get punished for it. So I'd like to see some flanking plays from Leo, and just some good team engages from both teams.
What I would like to point here is the Zen pick from Madison. Not something we see too often. The Discord Orb is very powerful, but Zen himself very vulnerable to dives, especially against the double bubble. So we'll see if Madison can stay alive and provide that damage. But immediately the backline of Blue School's Bandits get decimated by the double aerial attack from SpongeBob Mac and Cheese, and Jack is just gonna go straight in, just gonna try to push them all the way back, and the cart's just gonna immediately get rolling. It's gonna move right past that corner where most teams get stalled at.
Looks like Madison is gonna live on the Zenyatta. If they can't even see you, they can't kill you.
I absolutely, and now with Leo getting killed by Jack, it's gonna be very hard for a recontest to come in. Most likely will, as Goliath jumps up to the high ground, but so much ground given up by Blue's Clues Bandit just off those 2 picks. But Mustard Man gets taken down by Sage, and now Omen, a very good dive onto Madison. As I said, the Zen survivability not great, and now the double bubble composition showing its strength with the dive. Jack is still behind them, but he probably does not want to die. He will probably just be getting out very shortly.
That was quite an attack on that first fight. It was very impressive to see how they just took that momentum, snowballed it, and almost pushed the cart into second point.
Yeah, now Nico off onto that Roadhog. Not something we see too often. The hook has a lot of 1-kill potential, but it's gonna be really hard to land them onto some of these more mobile characters of the double bubble, as Keegan gets taken down by his counterpart, and Goliath takes out Madison, Jack, Anti, but he has to just try and defend his team. Nico tries to hook the bubble, does not work out, and Madison over to the brig, much more survivable and probably much more effective against this double bubble, as Keegan takes out Omen, but Leo takes out Mustard Man in, as Mustard gets rezzed right back up, but Nico Anti goes down. This fight is still very much going on as Jack rolls off the map. Now, Hungary in that Valkyrie form gets disconnected from their Pharah, and it gets taken down by Leo, so a reset will finally have to come in for the side of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese.
And what a weird fight in the backline. It's giving me flashbacks to the Widow 1v1 we had last week. An interesting 2v2 there. There are some ultimates coming out on both teams that will be coming out on both teams here, and looking to see what we can get from a barrage here.
Yeah, now both 2 of them coming out for the side of Blue's Clues Bandit, Nano and Pulse Bomb, as Jack goes down to Leo's focusing beam. Nico tries for another hook, and as Omen gets taken down by Keegan. And this Roadhog pick I don't particularly like here. There's just so much that Blue's Clues Bandit can do to just deny the value, and we're seeing it on full display here. Nico did get the hook onto Goliath, but the bubble was immediately there from Suit as he gets knocked into the pit.
Mercy living with 1 HP there, getting bubbled by the Zarya on Such on Zarya. What an impressive play. Yes,
Orchestra has been living by the skin of its teeth in some of these fights.
It's wild. We're seeing a Valkyrie come out.
Such going down immediately as Mustard Man gets taken down during his barrage by Leo, as Such gets rezzed. Somehow both Mercy's rezzing right in front of each other as a grab from Such tries to seal this out for his team. Nico with the whole hog gets hooked by Leo in the copycat form. Stunned by Madison, but now hooked by Nico, and now it looks like kills are coming in for the side of BCB. 15 seconds on the clock for them to try and get this payload into the first point, but it's just Leo, and the Echo cannot fight the entire team. But the recontest is very easily going to come in for the side of Blue's Clues Bandit. Goliath is right there, and now we are going to be going into overtime. Goliath gets hooked immediately, gets taken very low, and there's the hook is finally going to pay off as he gets focused down. The rally now out for Madison to keep his team alive against the dives from Blue's Clues Bandit. Such just on card trying to do some damage with that nano as Omen takes down Jack, but now rezzed up by Hungary Dude, who is taken very low by Omen and finally taken out as Such's mech gets taken care of. Leo gets taken down by his counterpart, and it's looking good here for the side of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese as kills just come rolling in. Both Primal rages as Omen gets taken down, and Goliath maybe regretting his decision to commit the Primal here as he gets hooked and very quickly taken down, and the cart will be marching into second point, and we will be seeing a bit more of Rialto.
We will indeed. We're going to have a couple of ultimates on the side of Spongebob coming into this next fight. We're looking at Valkyrie and a Pulse Bomb. If Tracer can get an early pick here, it may be enough to snowball close to next.
Nico getting the hook onto Orchestra, but just barely. Orchestra is able to live through it, but Leo getting taken down by Jack is not going to help the recontest from Blue's Clues. Jack going down, however, is, and now a bit of an overextension here for the side of Spongebob mac and cheese, and the hook came up onto Such, but he is able to live with the bomb as Omen takes down Keegan on that McCree. Such is now alone on cart, but the Diva Boosters is gonna let him get out of there as Nico just gets cornered and taken down by Omen, and Spongebob mac and cheese gonna have to just walk away, just trying to live another day.
Yep, take the clean reset. Omen popped off in that fight. 3 kills for him, and we're going to see a high noon built off of that. This is kind of a hard point to push for Spongebob across that really open bridge space, and I'd like to see Blues push up a little bit and try to punish anybody out of position.
And they are going to do that right now as Mustard Man goes in, but Keegan going to be taking the early duplicate onto the Diva and trying to charge up to that self-destruct. He's almost got it, and Nico does take down Goliath, but Leo taking down the duplicate of Keegan in the meantime as Hungary just gets shot by Omen. Keegan now in that next. He's finally gonna run out as Omen's I knew getting he's gonna quickly cancel it. Now Leo off that on that complicated Roadhog gonna try to find something, but he is gonna get taken down. Spongebob mac and cheese still want to fight this as Mustard Man gets a very nice stick onto Sage, taking the Ana out of the fight, but Hungry Dude gets taken down by Omen as Sage gets rezzed up by Orchestra, and it's looking better and better here for Blues Bandit, and especially now with Jack going down. Spongebob mac and cheese still fighting this here as 30 seconds on the clock here. Madison, Keegan, Mustard, and Nico all here, and Hungary is finally going to rejoin his team, but Goliath takes down Mustard, and Madison goes down to Omen. This isn't a great fight here. Spongebob mac and cheese, they're burning so much time as the bomb comes out from Such, doesn't find anything, but does clear the minefield from Jack. Now 10 seconds remaining, and there's so much going on. Keegan on that monkey is just trying to move people around as Omen on that McCree high, channeling that high noon, trying to find something, takes down Keegan as Leo finds 2, and it's looking good here for the side of Blues Bandit. It's just Mustard Man on point, and the Tracer isn't going to live too long against its full team of 6. Madison gets slept and taken down by Leo on the duplicated Tracer. Jack the final last resort here for Spongebob mac and cheese, but he gets taken down, and now the cart will be stopped just about halfway through the second point of Rialto.
Yeah, that's not a good fight to take, and that's going to be the end of their push here. Really tough sometimes to see that reset, but sometimes you have to step back, give it up, and just go for a clean 6v6.
Absolutely. And now, the one thing I would like to touch on is, what did you think about that Hog pick from Nico? Because it's very unconventional to what we've seen.
Normally, I'd say Hog's not in a good place right now, but I can see its value in double bubble. You are having to burst first that Zarya projected bubble and then Winston's bubble itself, because now it sits for 9 seconds. You have to break it. There's no point in waiting for it to go away. So there is value in just exploding those bubbles to try and burst down Monkey. However, it did not work out tonight.
Yeah, Nico just wasn't able to land the hooks he needed to try and do the damage. The shield break, a very important part of Roadhog, but the other part of his kit, getting those pickoffs onto the squishy. But everyone on double bubble is very mobile. The Tracer, the Echo, not exactly easy targets to hook.
I think if he hooked the monkey back in, that would maybe be their easy confirmed kill, because if you can burst that monkey down, it leaves the rest of Blues pretty exposed to the hit scan and the Echo damage coming out.
The Echo focusing beam doing a lot of damage once he gets down to half. Madison now sticking from the Zen. It didn't exactly work out well for them. I don't think the Zen was able to charge up to even half a Transcendence in the last push. So we'll see if this works out better for them on the defenses. Then we'll have the advantage of being able to set up early. Jack getting now spotted out by Leo, so he's just gonna run back as a dive coming in from Blues Bandits. Both tanks coming up as Nico does get antied, so he's gonna be forced to back off as the high ground now taken by Blues as Jack gets taken down by a headshot from Omen, and now both tanks are effectively out of the fight here for Spongebob mac and cheese, so they're just going to be retreating all the way back as Nico finally gets taken down. But now the Zen damage does take out Goliath, so the benefit of that Discord rearing its head, but now Goliath just gets rezzed right back up, and it doesn't, and it's almost like it never happened.
Yeah, they really need to focus on those clean resets. They're really struggling here. When you're in a 4v6, you just need to walk away, jump into the river, go for a nice swim and cool off in Rialto, and think about your strategy coming into the next fight. It does not help to pound your head.
Yeah, and now
Before he
Blue's
saves.
Clues Bandit have 5.5 minutes to push this maybe what halfway, maybe 2/3 of the way to second point, and
Mm-hmm.
they have some ults coming up. All both DPS ults are basically here, and both support ults will be here very shortly. Now, with Jack over to the Reinhardt, we'll see if it provides some more stability against that Winston. Madison, however, is pretty close to their Transcendence. Mustard and Keegan does take out Leo in the meantime, but does give its life. Mustard Man now with the high noon just tries to find something as Leo does get res up. Now Leo, after the res, gonna be copying the Diva, and a massive anti-aid from Sage is gonna do some good things. Goliath gets pinned, and now the Transcendence out from Madison. This double support ult's doing so much healing, but it doesn't look like it's gonna matter as they hop off the cart, and Luzku's Bandit taking what looks to be a very easy second map.
Very commanding, yeah.
Play
And
of the game.
that's unfortunate because it didn't feel like it was as one-sided as it could have been in the individual engages, but
Focus with me.
SpongeBob really struggled with taking the right engages.
Targets down.
Not only were they struggling with the resets, but also with the timing of their fights. When you let the cart push that long for free, when you're running a rank composition, you're limiting it to one fight on Streets
That's a
phase.
vote of confidence.
You sometimes just have to take maybe not the most optimal fight and just sit on cart so you can at least take 2 fights to get that clock down. The name of the game on defense is waste time. If you can waste time, you're winning. So I would have liked to see a little bit smarter fight taking from SpongeBob. Maybe they can pull it back going into this third map.
Yeah, absolutely. It didn't exactly look like it was their individual play that was doing it for them. As you mentioned, it just kind of looked like the coordination for off, and they looked kind of indecisive about what they wanted to play. Starting off on that ball, going to the Rhine later in that second round. So it'll be interesting to see how they go into this third map, our map pool here is going to be hybrid Iconworld, Blizzard World, and Hollywood in the map pool. So we'll see where we go.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's just a struggle. You come into these matches with kind of set strategies, set hero picks, and sometimes they don't work. Your coaches will give you stuff, and it's only a baseline. If it's not working in the moment, you have to recognize it and just go with the swap and trust your gut. And I don't think we saw that from SpongeBob tonight. They maybe just need to trust their gut and go with the comfort picks. Then again, it always is fun and a good idea to learn from trying to force your strategies, but perhaps not in finals.
Yeah, I would really like to see SpongeBob just pick a composition that they like, no matter how it feels against Blue Clues Bandit, and just try to play it through and make those adjustments. Madison on the Zen was not working well against the double bubble comp of Blue Clues Bandit. Zen very exposed, even if he has the support of the Brigitte, sometimes it's just not enough.
Yeah, when Monkey sits on him, there's not a lot you can do unless you can manage to just click that monkey head again and again. And when that Zarya bubble comes out, it basically takes that option away, and the Zen is gonna go down if the monkey can get onto him. So you do have to see very, very strong positional play and very strong peel, and the cohesion was maybe not quite there for SpongeBob in the last 2 maps.
Yeah, one thing I would like to add also is Sage has been very consistent with these anti-nades. We're
Indeed.
getting
Yeah.
a lot of big ones just to force the SpongeBob mac and cheese to kind of curb their aggression and just make it so they can't really take and engage the way they want to.
And then you can see that indecision that's it's causing because they know it's coming out and they have to be really careful not to eat it, and it does temper your aggression, like you said. Because if you eat that nade, somebody can very easily go down.
Absolutely, and it looks like we will be seeing a bit of a rearrangement here for SpongeBob mac and cheese as Keegan goes to tank and Jack is going to go to DPS. So we'll see how this works out for them. Jack is a Bastion player according to the team card, so we'll see if it comes out here on Eichenwald.
I'd love to see some cheese. You know, I'm always ready for that. Wouldn't be disappointed if we saw Baptiste as well, just to support that kind of composition. But we're gonna have to see what they pick here on Eichenwald, because there's a lot of variety of compositions that you can run.
Yeah,
Well,
Eichenwald home.
Brawl always being a classic on Reinhardt's home map. But coming into second point, there is that verticality that can be taken advantage of by either a ball or a double bubble composition
Yeah, we've
on
seen
either attack or defense.
Yeah, we've seen Double Bubble just kind of sit up here and rotate players onto the card and doing very well in this right after the first choke point on Eichenwald. So we'll see what happens with these two teams, and we'll see if a Bastion comes out from Jack. Who knows? And as they are going to be on attack, Jack will be on the Reaper, and it looks like just this. And it looks like it won't be Double Bubble, but just standard dive here coming out for the side of Blue's Bandits. So we'll see if the Diva pick from Such is able to be just as effective as the Zarya. Now, SpongeBob Mac and Cheese going back very far to right after 222 was implemented. We're seeing the Mayblade coming out from the side of the brawl with the May Reaper, the Lucio Baptiste. And what do you think of this going against the Reaper? Or
I like it.
Sorry, Winston.
I like it into this composition. If you can stay tight, the May can freeze the monkey coming in. They don't have a bubble to defend against that. And your Reaper can just explode whatever he wants to whenever they get close. If they stay tight, work as a team, they can just roll into point here, I think.
Yeah, the recent Reaper buffs making him a bit more effective at range too, so we'll see if he can do something about this Echo. But the dive coming in for the side of Blue's Bandit forces out the Immortality field early as SpongeBob Mac and Cheese scrambles to get their team in order, but Madison is left exposed in their back and gets taken down by Leo. And as Sage just get pinned by Keegan, and Leo takes down Mr. Mustard Man in the meantime, and SpongeBob Mac and Cheese trying to stabilize in this little room, but Nico getting taken down by Omen is not going to help as Mustard Man goes over to that McCree, and now just 3 players of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese just stuck in this room as Goliath goes down but gets rezzed up by Orchestra. Orchestra managing to somehow get into that room, but now that res did force Keegan to try and contest it as Goliath just gets taken down right back again by Jack, but Keegan gives his life. Mustard Man takes down Leo, but Omen takes down Jack in the meantime. Scrappy fight here with Nico on point, takes down Orchestra, and it's a 4v3 in favor of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese, but Mustard Man going down to Omen is certainly going to equalize it, but Such's mech gets taken down, and Omen just gets taken down by Madison's headshot, but gives his life for it. Now Goliath with that Primal Rage going to have so much survivability as Sage gets taken down by Jack, and now kills are rolling in for the side of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. Nico is literally 1 health, but it doesn't look like it'll matter. Goliath does manage to take him down, but Goliath is just going to go straight over the edge, and it looks like point A will be capped by SpongeBob Mac and Cheese.
Yeah, interesting fight. Very, very scrambly. We did see it almost go in favor of Blue's Clues when SpongeBob got split up again, but they managed to rally in that tight corridor, and they managed to punish the monkey as soon as he came in both times with the Reaper. Very well played by Jack.
Yeah, really good. Being able to just stabilize in that small room and just jump out and Jack getting Goliath twice. The Reaper already showing its impact, and this is already looks much better for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. And they're gonna have basically 6 ults going into second point, and a great move from Nico to knock him off the Hydra, but not exactly what Jack wanted, as all of the players got knocked away from his Death Blossom. Jack now taking a nap as Mustard Man channeling the High Noon finds Sage, and now the rest of Blue's Bandit getting knocked out of position. Mustard Man does get taken down, but Such's mech gets taken down by Madison in the meantime. Leo in the backline on Reinhardt trying to charge up to a shatter, but it's just not going to happen. Now Leo and Orchestra in the backline, but everyone from Blue's Bandit, it's just so low. Omen now with the pulse bomb trying to find anything, but now Jack with the TP into the backline trying to find some stagger kills. In the meantime, the bomb out from Such tries to find anything and does find Jack, but Keegan gets 3 with his swings, and SpongeBob Mac and Cheese are just going to continue rolling this cart.
Indeed. And that's what we like to see is with this brawl comp. They are managing to stay very well together, and they're just exploding anybody who gets close. They can't, Blue's Clues can't really contest cart because the Reinhardt is just going to swing his hammer and tell them to go away.
Yeah, and Nico on this ball is doing a very good job of disrupting the dives of Blue's Bandit, and as Leo does get taken down, they do have the Mercy, so we will be back very shortly. But as I mentioned, Nico doing a very good job at disrupting Goliath and disrupting Suits from getting the dives that they want, but Leo does take Mustard Man down in the meantime. Now, Keegan is stuck in the room with the Tracer, so he'll just be walking out as Omen blinks right into a mine as Leo takes down Jack. So man advantage here in favor of Blue's Clues Bandit as Spongebob Mac and Cheese slightly split. Now the dive comes on to Keegan and Madison, but with the Baptiste there, the Reinhardt will be okay. Mustard Man, Hungry Dude trying to make some space for his team as Nico just gets burnt down by the focusing beam of Leo. A massive anti coming out from Sage once again, but as she gets taken down, but Owen goes down to the swings of Keegan. Sage is going to get rezzed up by Orchestra, but this car is going to be moving into second point. Goliath has to jump onto car
Huge anti.
to contest it right before it goes in. Almost a C9 coming out as Such's bomb just to remech. We'll see if he can find anything, but he won't be able to remech. But Keegan tried to shatter but got taken out in the meantime. That's not looking good as Jack takes down Omen, but Nico gets killed on the cart and it's just Jack on the cart and he gets taken down. Very close to a C9 from Blue's Clues Bandit, but they were able to contest that car and save themselves. Now Nico over to that Diva for a bit more damage mitigation. Jack over to the Sombra. Now we're seeing basically a complete composition switch to what they started on.
And I don't like to see the focus on the splitting from Spongebob. They're running that Lucio, they're running the Brawl, they just need to fight on cart. Make them come to you. That's all they need to do here.
Yeah, and it looks like they're doing a bit better of this. Their pathing looks very together, very coordinated as Goliath tries to knock some people around and Mustard Man gets taken out by the Stickies and Goliath takes down Jack. Jack not going to be able to charge any of his EMP as Omen's Pulse Bomb connects onto Madison, and that's just going to be a quick, easy fight win for Blue's Clues Bandit, but not the worst scenario. They Spongebob Mac and Cheese. And they
do have time to come in for another fight here. I'd really like to see them just coming through that building without using their speed and just amp speed right onto cart and make them force the fight on cart. That's what they need to do here. They're running Brawl, they need to Brawl.
Yeah, and 40 seconds left, so they have the time for that rotation, definitely. Jack only 43% of the way to his EMP. Another anti-D coming out to Sage, but she gives her life for it as Mustard Man with the high noon gets taken down by sticky nades from Leo, and Leo copies the Reinhardt, and this is not looking good here for Spongebob Mac and Cheese. The cart getting ever so close to that first point. The backup almost comes through, but the Blue's Clues Bandits have the awareness. Jack's getting taken down by Omen, and now Rez comes out onto Goliath. Now the solo beat from Hungry Dude just to try and keep this fight alive, but Nico gets stuck by Omen, and it's just Hungry on cart. He gets taken down. Keegan has the shatter, tries to charge in, but gets denied as Sage gets taken down and Goliath goes down. Keegan with the shatter finds Leo, and Keegan keeping this alive for his team finds Orchestra with the help of the hack from Jack. Madison gets taken down, but it's just Such and Omen on the cart. Sage is going to be back in just a second on the Moira, but so is Nico and Hungry Dude, and now the EMP from Jack finds two as Omen gets taken down. Madison now over to the Moira just to get back onto cart. Keegan charging out, and it's just an all-out brawl onto cart as Mustard Man on the Reaper finds three. Now Leo onto the Sim, just trying to contest cart for as long as he can, but he's finally gonna get dispatched up. And Spongebob Mac and Cheese are finally gonna be able to roll this cart into second point.
Just pulled it off by the skin of their teeth. No, instead of SpongeBob, and that's what you see. They forced the fight on cart last second because they had to. If they keep on doing this on third point in these tight corridors, I can see them easily pushing the cart into the last point.
Yeah, and now this is going to be a much better for Brawl, and both teams know it as Blue's Clues makes a full composition switch basically over to that Brawl comp with the May. Jack over now to the Junkrat, going to be going with a bit more of a spammy approach as both Reinhardts fight each other in the corner. Omen goes down, and now there's no mercy. The shatter on the corner for Keegan just gets blocked by Goliath, who's just standing there like a wall, but Jack takes advantage of that, hits him with some of the mines, and just takes him out. Jack finding Orchestra in the meantime. Jack has just been killing everyone on that Junkrat. Those Junkrat nades doing so much burst damage as Suits gets taken down on cart, and it's not looking good here for Blue's Clues Bandit as Sage has to swap over to the Moira just for the recontest. However, Spongebob Mac and Cheese are without the Reinhardt for the moment as the Coalescence out from Madison, but Omen going down is definitely going to do good as this Riptire out from Jack, not being able to find anything, but the Death Blossom is there to make up for it. The wall out from Leo just to try and do something, try to keep anything up, but now the bomb out from Nico is gonna seal the deal. and SpongeBob Mac and Cheese roll through third point after a bit of troubles and finish with time in the bank.
It's good. Getting outside of that overtime guarantees that they will have another chance to push first point regardless of what happens on their defense. So very well played by SpongeBob in that last scramble to get the card in. I don't think Blue's Clues were necessarily expecting that ferocity from them, but SpongeBob decided that they were here to play, and they pushed the cart right in.
Yeah, and Jack on that Junkrat doing so much in that final fight built up a Riptire just like that.
Yeah, those tight quarters. There's just nowhere to hide from the junk spam. You just eat it, or you take a step to the left, and there's more junk spam. There's nowhere to go on that corridor.
Yeah. The Riptire itself not doing much, but just how fast he charged it proving essential. And Keegan on that Reinhardt, you could argue that he saved that round for his team, finding 3 on that Reinhardt in that fight just before second point. So he was doing a very good job of keeping his team in. And now a bit more of standard brawl coming.
We're gonna see a cheese hold? Are they holding close here? They might speed right into their spawn room here. SpongeBob.
Might be a possibility. We'll see if Blue's Clues scout this. This is a very standard composition. This is very standard brawl with the Mei, with the McCree, and we'll see if Blue's Clues Bandit spots this out. If they route into this room, they are going to get absolutely decimated. They are going around, so we'll see if this gets scouted out. And now it looks like they will. And now SpongeBob Mac and Cheese is just gonna scatter and try to get back into a position where they can defend and they made a very good call on that. Hungry rotation. Very good, very decisive, and just knowing to back out. And now Keegan just going to be holding this corner, and now Mustard Man takes out Omen with a well-placed headshot, but Leo gets the sticky bombs onto Jack and takes him out in the meantime. Goliath, however, in the small room getting caught, and now getting taken down by the swings from Keegan and the icicles from Mustard Man, and it looks like this will be a retreat here for the side of Blue's Clues Bandits.
Beautiful block on the nade by Keegan. I think he realized that it was coming at this point. They have been getting punished in the past, so I like the team keeping his eye on that, Anna. Very impressive.
Yeah, and Omen now getting stunning up from the flashbang from Jack and getting taken out. And the Echo and the Mercy duo are stuck behind, and they're gonna get staggered out. Leo going for a bit of an ego duel, you could say, and he's gonna get staggered out. And this is not great. This is not a great fight from Blue's Clues Bandit.
This is what we see sometimes. Sometimes your ego just gets too big, you don't take it seriously, and this is how you throw away time. This is fantastic for SpongeBob. Only 2.5 minutes left for Blue's Clues to push
a
first
bit of
point.
a throwaway ult there from Leo, finding absolutely no value on the duplicate McCree.
And he's not switching.
Yeah. Such on that Sigma gets stunned up and just gets pushed down so quickly. But SpongeBob Mac and Cheese, the target focus is there. Keegan gets slapped, but instantly woken up by the Tesla cannon. Leo on this Echo is just gonna try and fly around, but this team cohesion from SpongeBob Mac and Cheese looking so much better. They are playing as one unit, and it's very hard for the dive of Blue's Clues Bandit to try and break into that.
Their monkey's just getting bullied and forced away by that Reinhardt hammer. Here he comes in again.
The anti-nade out from Sage, finding a couple, but Hungry Dude with the beat is going to keep his team alive. The Nano to try and force Goliath into the rest of the team, but the Sage and Such go down. Jack with that high noon going to try to find something, but it's all he finds is Leo's duplicate. However, that might be enough, but Jack gets split off from his team and now gets taken out as SpongeBob Mac and Cheese are going to try and now regroup on the point as Madison's amplification matrix comes out, but they're going to be taken so low as Leo takes them out in the meantime. Goliath just getting swung at by Keegan, who has a shatter, lays it down. Such is going to get pinned, and Leo also gets taken down by the pin of Keegan. So the Keegan doing so much work on that Reinhardt, and it looks like SpongeBob Mac and Cheese are going to be able to hold for the moment.
Fantastic place by Reinhardt. He really absolutely clutched that out with the shatter and the pin onto Sigma. Not a lot that SpongeBob could have done otherwise in that fight. We do have a grab from Nikolai on cooldown here. He's if you can get value from this is coming into close to last fight for Blue's Clues. They need to make something happen, or they're gonna just get nothing on this push.
Yeah, Nikolai with the grab could stall this out, and it is going to be used here. Mustard Man gets taken down by the anti from Sage, but the damage into the grab is enough to take down most of the team. And it's gonna be final fight here for the side of Blue's Clues Bandits. Jack is gonna be on his way back as he was taken down. But we'll see how this final fight goes out. And so far, Blue's Clues Bandits not having any success trying to breach this.
We do have a duplicate for Blue's Clues. If they get that Reinhardt, cramming 2 Reinhardts right onto point may be just enough to swing this in favor of Blue's Clues.
Yeah, but Keegan is going to have the shatter first, but another big ante onto Keegan, and Mustard Man is going to pay off as Mustard gets taken down, but Sage is taken down in the meantime. But Madison gets taken down. Now the shatter out from Keegan to try and find something, but Nikolai and Hungary are already down from Goliath. Goliath now on his right arm making the hero play, and it looks like they will be able to take this first point, and Keegan is going to get staggered out just a little bit.
I guess they realized they needed to perform, and they have managed to get the card. And if they do take this a little more seriously, don't whiff ults, they can definitely push it into 3rd point with the time that they do have on the clock here.
Yeah, but what it required was a composition switch. Goliath's win streak was just getting bullied by the Mei, the McCree flashbang, the Reinhardts, and it just wasn't working out. But now the Blue's Clues Bandit rounding out onto that high ground, catching Madison out as Goliath, however, does get frozen, does have to give his life for it. And this looks like a really good stabilization here for Spongebob Mac and Cheese on this high ground as Orchestra gets taken down by Jack. And Leo does find Jack in the meantime, but Leo will see if he can get away from it. But Such takes down Nikolai, and this card is just moving in the meantime. Leo gets taken down by a well-placed Icicle from Mustard Man, but a rotation is going to have to come in for Spongebob Mac and Cheese if they want to contest, and here it is. They drop undercut the high noon out from Omen to try and find something, and it gets onto Hungary, but now the Blizzard out from Mustard Man wasn't able to find anything, and now Madison is taken down, and it's not looking good here for Spongebob Mac and Cheese as this card has been moving this entire time.
This is the engage that I'm talking about, the issue that SpongeBob has been having, where they're not taking these clean fights, and they're just getting punished for it.
They won't be able to get a recontest here, and Mustard Man's pick onto Leo is definitely going to do some good. No pressure from the Echo, it means that recontest is going to come in, but as I say that, he gets rest and takes out Mustard Man in the meantime, but Goliath has to give his life to Nikolai as the Echo just gets solo grabbed. Leo on that Reinhardt tries to shatter, but doesn't find anything as Hungry gets taken down. Nico takes himself out, and it looks like Blue's Clues Bandit will be able to get this card into 2nd point and will try to finish this map.
It's close. It's still anybody's fight at this point. Not a lot of big ults coming up in this 3rd phase, but it is gonna, I think, force SpongeBob to play a little together, and we've seen how they can succeed when they manage to work as a team.
Yeah, they just weren't able to really regroup on that 2nd point, not really through any fault of his own, just a lot of really good plays coming out from Blue's Clues, but now with the regroup and Jack now on that Junkrat, we'll see if they can do anything done. Keegan pushing it very aggressively into Goliath, gets sticky, so has to back off for just a moment, but just a second is all Jack needs to try and find something. The shatter out onto Mustard. Goliath does get the pin onto Mustard, but it doesn't look like it's gonna do too much as Such gets taken down by Nikolai. The shatter from Keegan out onto 2 member. The rest of them are taken down, and Goliath is alone on the cart, and he's not going to be able to do anything. So a very good fight win here for the side of Spongebob Mac and Cheese.
Wow. Just another fantastic shatter coming out from Keegan. He's really showing his skill in Reinhardt and recognizing those opportunities when he can just stun their backline and delete them. Once that happens, the fight is over.
Yeah, and Jack now with the Riptire. The Junkrat doing so much damage in these close corridors, there's not really anywhere you can go to avoid those grenades that just keep coming in. Thank you. Now the amplification matrix out, but a bit of a mistake from Madison as they just get pushed back. And now Goliath is going to have to take the brunt of that damage. The Immortality Field used. Now the tire out from Jack. It's behind them. We'll see if they can find anything. It finds both supports. That's absolutely massive. As Goliath gets pinned, Jack finally gets taken down by Omen. And now Leo on that Zarya is going to get a grab, but it's not going to do anything. There's no follow-up. And now just 16 seconds on the clock for the recontest to come out. Leo finally gets taken down out of that duplicate form. And we'll see if he can find anything out. Jack now find over to that bastion as it said on his card. 7 seconds in, and a shatter out from Goliath is absolutely massive. It might have been Keegan caught with his pants down, but now the counter blizzard out from Mustard Man to punish the aggression coming out from Blue's Clues Bandit, and the overtime takes down, and it will be Spongebob Mac and Cheese taking our 2nd map.
Holy. What a turnaround from SpongeBob. they pulled it together, and when they work as a team, they've shown that they can beat Blue's Clues. It's that simple.
Yeah, the brawl from SpongeBob Mac and Cheese looking so strong once they are able to get into that rhythm, once they're able to play together and play as one unit to counter the dive. Blue's Clues Bandits did show some signs of life, however, they did not go down without swinging it. Leo on that Echo looked exceptional as always. So we'll see if they can do anything going into our fourth map, Assault, Volskaya Hanamur, and Temple of Anubis in the map pool. It is Blue's Clues Bandits' pick, so we'll see if they can get anything done.
Yeah, I'm curious what they're gonna run here. It's kind of interesting. I would like to see them avoid Anubis because we've seen Jack, I believe, on the Junkrat, and he's just so strong, managing to get so much damage out, building those rip tires like they're nothing.
Yeah, he's the close quarters doing so much, and that Riptire onto the supports doing so much to try and deny a lot of the damage coming in for the side of to the side of Blue's Clues Bandits.
It looks like we're going to take a short break here, but we'll be back shortly in a minute to see if SpongeBob can keep up the momentum and come up with the reverse sweep against Blue's Clues in these semifinals here today.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits. You can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. See you again. There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Owlet Season 3.9 playoffs. SpongeBob Mac and Cheese and Blue's Clues Bandits. SpongeBob Mac and Cheese leads the series 2-1 and taking the map of Eichenwald just recently. But Blue's Clues Bandits not going down without a fight, as SpongeBob Mac and Cheese leaves that round. What do you think was the main issue there for Blue's Clues Bandits? They're on their push. They just weren't able to complete the map there.
They were trying to force a meta, and it was not working. Like we kind of discussed, sometimes the picks that you have coming into the match, they're usually set by your coaches, but you always have to be reactive in Overwatch. It is a game of picking counters, and if you're getting counters, you have to go ahead and make that swap. They had the monkey diving in, and he was just getting swung on, and Defense Matrix doesn't really help him in that scenario. Is there anything you think about that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. But the double bubble was working for Blue's Clues Bandits when they were running it. Suchan that Zarya was able to provide a lot of utility. And the bubbles, unlike Defense Matrix, can actually block the Reinhardt swings and block a lot of that incoming damage, as well as charging up the Zarya. But once they went over to that dive, they just weren't able to do anything against SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. And I think that was their biggest problem.
And they were struggling to implement the dive as an actual dive as well, because you would see Goliath go in basically into their backline by himself, and then the rest of his team would get run away by that strong Reinhardt frontline with the Lucio speeding him in. So he would be fighting that 1v3, and then his team would get forced away in that period, and they would get no value. So it's tough to watch, but I'm glad that SpongeBob was able to recognize what they needed to do, which was just delete that monkey while forcing out the rest of the team. And that's how they managed to win those fights in this last match.
Yeah, SpongeBob Mac and Cheese making a lot of really good adjustments mid-game, playing together as more cohesion, doing a lot better at getting those clean resets and taking fights and not getting staggered out. But one thing I would like to mention for that last round, Leo alone had 40,000 damage. The closest
40,000.
anyone else had was about 20,000 by a couple of players from Blue's Clues and SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. He is doing an incredible job of just landing his stickies, landing his focusing beam on SpongeBob Mac and Cheese, but it just doesn't look like Blue's Clues Bandits are just really in a position to follow up, and it just doesn't look like there's the synergy going between him and the rest of his team.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Echo is you have to get those bursty kills, because you can do a lot of spam damage, but if you're not getting eliminations, it's tough to follow up, because Echo is a character that thrives being able to just shut people down quickly, but if they survive past that initial burst, it's quite hard usually to get the damage with just left clicks on Echo.
Yeah, Blue's Clues Bandits are certainly not out of the series yet. They definitely did not go without a fight. They were so close to getting that final point, but Jack on that Junkrat, a very unconventional pit, but that close quarters making it work.
So you
So
even saw the switch on the Bastion at the end there, although he didn't actually get too much damage because he was sitting in the back.
yeah, the SpongeBob Mac and Cheese very aggressive Bastion, not exactly good at moving around. Anubis is our fourth map picked here by Blue's Clues Bandits. And what do you think of this? Do you think they just want to play that double bubble here? Because Anubis, that first point, has a lot of high grounds that you can play around with the Winston.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a double bubble. I'd be afraid to watch them run a brawl comp, because I'm kind of expecting a Junkrat out of Jack here on this map. There are lots of tight corridors where you can also value, you can deny different angles of approach on defense. So it may be better to run that double bubble, jump that high ground as a soft engage, get your team in, and then kind of reassess and see if anybody's out of position from there. That's kind of the strategy I'd like to see from Blue's Clues, but we'll, as usual, have to see what they have in their hat tonight.
Absolutely. We'll see. Anubis has been home to a lot of different things in the past. We've seen Treehouse, which is a Junkrat comp. and that could definitely work. But we've also seen it be a very dive heavy, which is what Blues Clues favors. So we'll see what teams want to play, and I'm very interested to see what they do going into this last match.
For the viewers, what's a treehouse? I know what it is, definitely. But what is treehouse?
Treehouse. This is some very old composition, but it was when you would have the Orisa sit on that back high ground of Anubis with the Diva and with the Junkrat
Widow
and
spot.
spam and the Widow spot, and it was just a bunker comp that was so difficult to break on Anubis. Now that was a very long time ago. That was Overwatch League Season 1. That is not being played anymore. But we have seen the Junkrat work behind in the past. Was my point kind of with that?
Gotcha. It is very strong controlling those tight spaces. Like there's lots of enclosed spaces where you can just deny the enemy this approach. So we aren't seeing a Junkrat here. We're seeing a little bit of a divey. We're seeing a ball composition with Echo and Genji. So it's going to be some hard and fast engages from Spongebob into the brawl that Blues Clues is going to use on defense here. We are seeing a Sombra by Leo, so we'll have to see if he can get an EMP in time to get value on first point.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing that really interests me is your mustard man on the Genji. Not something we've seen him bring out in this match so far, so we'll see if it pays off. Now, Jack on that Echo already sticky bombed, and now the rotation coming out from Nikolai. But now the sticky bombs in the back from Jack doing a lot of damage, and now the full rotation coming out for the side of Blues Clues Bandits, splitting off the Ana and the Sigma from the rest of his team. But while they do that, SpongeBob Mac and Cheese take that and say, we're just going to take the point, and they do that. They're already 2 ticks building up for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese, and Blues Clues Bandit, without their main take, now they're in disarray. Leo on that Sombra does manage to get Keegan, but now they're Blues Clues Bandit having to throw themselves at the point just to try and contest it. However, the Baptiste is still alive, and Sucha on that Zarya is still alive, and so is Leo. So the hack's coming in huge here. Leo does get antied, but Leo, has already found 2, and now Goliath is back on the Reinhardt, so Blues Clues Bandit doing a really good job at just stabilizing here and managing to turn it around.
Yeah, what a smart play from Leo. Again, we're seeing huge damage and picks coming out from him tonight. We do have some ults coming out from Spongebob from the picks that they got earlier, so if we see a big flux from Nikolai, it can easily turn a fight here.
Yeah, but them just kind of staggering in here, that was kind of a poorly executed soft reset. The Keegan and Nikolai were not really in a position to where they could stabilize and just poke and hold their position, and they just got dove and just taken out so quickly.
Very unfortunate, and it is the issue that we've been seeing so far tonight. So it looks like they are going to get a clean reset, but I don't like that Leo. Ball's going to get caught on a point. Very unfortunate for SpongeBob.
Yeah, and now they aren't going to be able to engage. And Jet going down to Omen, I would really like them to see them back out here and take the reset, not burn any more time. But now
they're going to get caught up in the high ground.
Mustardman, Nikolai, and Madison are all just going to get rushed down by this brawl. The grab comes out onto them, and that's just going to steal the deal, and they're just going to get staggered out even more. Not worst case scenario, as they did manage to force the grab out, but they are now down to just about 1 minute and 30 seconds.
They do have a lot of ults on the side of SpongeBob. They can go for a Nano Blade, some Minefield, a Flux. But
yeah, they're going to have all 6.
If the EMP comes out at the right time, it can just cancel all of that, negating any ability to use those ultimates.
Really nice move from Keegan, however, but a 6-man EMP from Leo, but Leo did get sucked by Madison, so he's not going to be able to hack, but the damage is already done. Keegan is going to commit the Minefield, however, and on point, the Shatter comes out onto Goliath just to seal the deal onto the kill onto him. However, not the worst fight for SpongeBob. They did manage to force out several ults. So the EMP, the High Noon, all gone.
Very smart shatter from Goliath. They may not have been able to touch if he did not delete those mines with his shatter. So very smart play. I'd like to see the Nano Blade early if they don't have very much time and they need to get it out before either Ana or Genji get picked here.
Yeah, but Orchestra has the beat, so we might be able to save his team. Nikolai with that flux. Orchestra managed to hold beat through that, so now the blade's going to come out. Orchestra is going to be right there with the beat, keeping his team alive, and now that Valkyrie out. Mustard Man is just furiously swinging, trying to find anything, but now the grab out from the duplicated Echo finally find a couple, and now it's just Leo on point, and Keegan gets taken down, but the res is out from Hungary Dude, and now it's just Orchestra on point, and Leo's gonna have to just uncloak, throw himself at the point, but he's just gonna get swiftly taken care of. And now SpongeBob Mac and Cheese will be able to take the first point and advance on to second.
A little bit of an error from Blue's Clues committing so many ults into basically minefield from SpongeBob in that previous fight. It's going to be a little bit of a fresh slate here with EMP being close to built by Leo again.
Yeah, Goliath, however, a bit overextended the tanks, however, but his team is there to peel for him and punishes the aggression of Mustard Man trying to punish the Reinhardt. Keegan finds Sage, but that's really the only pick that it looks like SpongeBob Mac and Cheese will be getting. Almost getting a tick, but just not quite, and they will just be forced out here by Blue's Clues Bandits.
I would almost like to see a swap from SpongeBob. There we do see the Baptiste coming in, and there are the swaps coming out. I think they may just switch to a full brawl here, and that may be the right decision for this second fight. They have time to build ults at this point, but if they wait, it's not going to be the case.
Yeah, some smart decisions. However, Keegan with the minefield, so he's going to want to hold on to that. It's a very short spot, and he's doing a good job of just looking at so many resources, so much space created, but the massive EMP from Leo is going to catch 5 members. Jack gets taken down, but the rest of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese able to live through, and Leo finally gets taken down. Nikolai was so low in that fight, but the immortality field from Madison saved him, but now the shatter from Goliath is going to seal the fight here for Blue's Clues Bandits and send SpongeBob Mac and Cheese running back to their spawn rooms.
Yeah, so SpongeBob does have the Blade and the Flux, but they do have a beat to counter on Blue's Clues, so it's going to be key that they don't use both ults at the same time into the beat, and that they stagger them a little bit to let the beat wear off.
Yeah, I would love to see Nikolai try to bait this beat out with the Flux, so we'll see how it goes. There's the beat. Nikolai gets hacked, however, so the beat wasn't exactly needed. Now the grab out from Suits, just try and find some kills, and it is successful in what it does now. A minute left as Nikolai is gonna get pinned by Goliath, and now a minute left, but Mustard Man is gonna give up the Blade in favor of a Mei here. That might not be the best decision, and now it looks like Blue's Clues Bandits will be holding close, and we'll see if SpongeBob Mac and Cheese got this out.
Taking that close engage way off point here.
Now the Mei coming out, the wall split off Omen, and that might have been a mistake here for Blue's Clues Bandits, as the wall from Mustard Man doing a lot to just split off, but he's now going to get split off, but SpongeBob Mac and Cheese take that, and it's going to cap the point in the meantime, trying to find anything. And they can't even get a tick as their team just gets picked apart by Blue's Clues Bandits. The shatter out from Goliath finds Keegan, but Omen gets taken down by Keegan. Fire striking. Keegan is living for the meantime. The high noon out from Jack, trying to find any kills, but Leo takes down 2, and as it goes, Sage gets taken down, but she's going to be back just very shortly, and now 10 seconds left on the clock. Nikolai gets taken down, and it's just Mustard Man trying to touch the point. Leo just EMP's absolutely there. But Mustard Man on the Mei is going to be able to stall this point out for just a second, but not too long. He is in Ice Block. Keegan on the Reinhardt trying to find something. Hungary Dude gets stunned, but does manage to get the beat off. Omen does get taken down, and the rest of SpongeBob Mac and Cheese are here, but it's not looking good for them as Mustard Man gets taken down. Nikolai taken down on the ball. Jack on the Symmetra, getting the turrets onto point, but can't touch. 37.8% is all Blue's Clues Bandits have to do to try and win this first map.
They did get that tick, which is really important. Now they do have a second point to defend, although they don't have any there's no ability to back off point in a losing fight and recontest at a later point, which does make it more difficult on that defense second point. Often you can use that 2 points to get a little bit more of your team back alive and then contest fully. So it's going to come down, I think, a lot to how much time that SpongeBob can hold for on first point here, Anubis.
Yeah, absolutely. And this does eliminate the possibility of a tie, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be either SpongeBob Mac and Cheese holds and manages to take this match, or Blue's Clues Bandits win, and we would be going to a map 5. Now, as you mentioned, Jack, on this Junkrat, we've seen it before work on Anubis.
It's actually Mustard Man. They've swapped with Jack on McCree. I wonder what that's for. Maybe Jack's feeling really confident, really hot with the McCree aim today. So we'll have to see how they are able to hold this first point. We are seeing a Somber again, which I do like on the set of Blue's Clues. This is 2 CP. As we know, it is a contest of who can win one fight, basically. If they win one fight on attack here, they're going to secure first point, and that's what Somber excels at with big EMPs.
Yeah, Leo did a lot on his team last round, 7,200 damage, third just behind his tanks. So we'll see if anything can be done. And now Blue's Clues Bandits immediately noticing the Junkrat spam is just gonna wait for their time to strike. They're finally gonna raise their shield, and now the speed coming out from Orchestra, but he gets taken down, and now the retreat tool is gone for the side of Blue's Clues Bandits, and Spongebob Mac and Cheese charging in. Goliath takes care of Mustard Man with the pin, but that's a very quick team kill for the side of Spongebob Mac and Cheese.
Lucy's going to be the taxi, so they should be able to get a nice 6v6 again. Really impressed by the nice clean engage by SpongeBob here. This is what I think they excel at. If they can manage to keep on just hammering into the enemy team, they should be able to keep winning these fights.
Yeah, but now a bit of a different pathing here out for Blue's Clues Bandits. Jack is back. Mustard Man is back, and he is going to have the tire just shortly. The hack comes out onto him, but not before Goliath goes down, and it looks like SpongeBob Mac and Cheese want to push forward. Leo is on point, but he's just going to get quickly forced out by Nikolai, and Keegan with the hammer lays it down and manages to find a couple, and that's going to be another quick fight for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. Orchestra does find Keegan in the meantime, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
Very dangerous position that SpongeBob is in right here. They don't have their Reinhardt, so they can't go on those hard engages. I'd really like to see them back up and just wait for the Reinhardt safely here. We do some ultimates coming up from SpongeBob, especially a window and maybe a big tire, especially if Blue's Clues goes right-hand side again. The Rip Tire being very strong in those close corridors.
Yeah, now here it is on that spot. We'll see if it can find anything. It's just rolling it out, and now the high noon out from Jack finds Omen. Keegan does pin Such in the meantime. So once again, another very quick fight win for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. And SpongeBob Mac and Cheese very decisive on these engages.
In this next fight, it looks like SpongeBob is a little bit overcommitted on their ultimates. They are winning the fights, which are important, burning that clock. But we are seeing the EMP shatter window coming up from Blue's Clues. So if they can get some good ultimates here, it is very easy to just play 2 CP and capture this first point.
Yeah, Nikolai did find Leo for a moment. He did manage to get out, but he is spy checking now as the window comes out from Madison. Now the shatter out from Goliath doesn't find anything, and Leo gets caught out by Nikolai, and this is disaster. He had the EMP, and now it looks like they're just gonna get very swiftly cleaned up by SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. Keegan does get taken down by Goliath, and so does Hungary Dude, but they'll respawn together, and now Such is gonna get staggered out here. This is disastrous for Blue's Clues Bandits.
This is what it comes down to. They have to hit that EMP in the next 1 or 2 fights. That's assuming they go fast. They have to hit the EMP.
Yeah.
Good pick by Leo.
That pick up to Madison is absolutely massive. That means they're living off of Lucio heals. He does have that beat, but Hungary Dude would like to save it for the EMP. He can't go and tactics. I'd really like to see Leo go very aggressive with this EMP, but the bomb is going to come out from Such and does find Jack, but now the beat out from Hungary Dude to keep his team up. Keegan with the shatter does get stunned up, but he is going to live, and Nikolai's bomb finds Omen, and Mustard Man finds Sage in the meantime, so main advantage here for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. Such takes care of Mustard Man, and now the beat from Orchestra only catches 2, however, and this isn't looking very good for Blue's Clues Bandits at all, and Such again, once again demeched, and once again going to be staggered.
Oh, the Baby Diva stagger is absolutely not what they need at this point in time. Baby Diva needs to force a kill on herself, and it doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, Anubis, not so a point where there's a recent point. Mustard Man with a very early tire, seeing if he can get a pick, and Such gets shaken down by Jack now on the Symmetra. 5 seconds left on the clock for Blue's Clues Bandits to try and find something, anything. Omen on that high noon tries to find something, gets both DPS are now taken down for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese, and so is the mech, but there is a chance for Blue's Clues Bandit, but with just Such on the point, it isn't looking good. Its Orchestra is now coming back, but he is just going to get lasered up by that sim turns. Finally gets taken down by the hammer swings of Keegan, Such, and now Goliath and Sage all on the point. So there is still a chance here for Blue's Clues Bandits, but with Such going down to the Baby Diva, it's not looking good. Goliath gets booted into a pin, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to find a kill. And that is it. SpongeBob Mac and Cheese will move on to our losers semifinals, and Blue's Clues Bandits will be out of the tournament.
Wow, what a display! What a display from SpongeBob. They fought deep and they pulled out the win there.
Absolutely. They made a lot of adjustments to their play style. They were playing much more. You saw it as we went into that second defense. They've been so good on defenses, playing together as a unit and taking these really smart, fast, and decisive engages on to Blue's Clues Bandits. And Blue's Clues Bandits just look overwhelmed.
They did. They did. It really came down to the really fast, decisive engages. That's what we kind of talked about leading into those first matches where they were struggling. But once you have that clean team engage with a Reinhardt Brawl comp, it is so hard to push a point into it. Very well done. Very good turnaround by SpongeBob.
Yeah, absolutely. And as they will be taking this match 3-1, they will be moving to fight whoever wins our next match. Later in our tournament, and we will want to pick a player of the match. Or what is your thoughts on this player of the match here?
Yeah, I think it has to be SpongeBob's main tank. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. Keegan, yeah, absolutely dominant force on the Reinhardt, just clutching out plays with swinging his hammer, shatters, whatever he needed to do to win those fights. He just fought for it every single time and managed to clutch out those absolutely necessary fights.
Yeah, Keegan doing so much on that Reinhardt, and I would have to agree with you on that. But this was very much a team victory for SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. They played as a unit, and it showed.
It did.
And Blue's Clues Bandits, you saw it when they got a pick exemplified on that first fight of Anubis. Mustard Man gets that pick onto Orchestra, and the go button is pressed, and the entire team just surges forward onto Blue's Clues Bandits.
And that's what you need to win these. It's the team play, it's the coordination, and it's the trust with your teammates where the Lucio hears go or the Lucio says go, and the team just collapses on the enemy. That kind of cohesion, that immediate decisiveness, is what wins those fights, leaving the enemy no time to react.
Yeah, and this is definitely not to discredit Blue's Clues Bandit. They fought hard. Leo doing a lot on that Echo, and the rest of his team doing very well as well, but just not enough. SpongeBob Mac and Cheese was able to eke out the win.
Indeed. And do we know if we can get Keegan in here for an interview? So it looks like we can. Do you have anything else to... Actually, I'd like to talk about a little bit the first match, because Blue's Clues Bandits were very strong. I was actually kind of nervous for SpongeBob coming into these later maps when you saw the kind of dominant display on that first map.
And it does look like we have Keegan here. Hello, Keegan, and congratulations on your victory today.
Thank you. What's up?
Fantastic job. I'd just like to ask you about coming into that first match, or coming from the first map into the second. How are you guys feeling? I know it can be a little bit disheartening sometimes to lose that first game. How was your guys' mental going into number 2?
We were kind of, vibing, having fun, and then what was it? I asked my team if they wanted to win, and Jack said yes. So me and Jack swapped roles because his tank isn't so good. Not trying to diss the man, but his tank isn't so good. So we swapped the roles around and we pulled it together, and we ended up taking the dub.
Yeah, we saw a lot of adjustments out of you guys. Most notably was the lack of cohesion a little bit early on was hurting you guys. I don't know if you would agree with me or not, but what kind of made the transition? How did you guys get that cohesion in the later maps? Was there anything spoken about between maps, or how did you guys make that work?
I went our swaps really. Nikolai became a lot more vocal on the off tank, and I also transitioned onto my main role, so I was a lot more comfortable coming. So I think overall we just had a lot more comms, and that helped us way more.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right,
sometimes.
Hartland.
Sorry, go ahead.
Reinhardt did look very good there. What do you think? You played very aggressively, and your team was able to support you. And do you think that was a big factor in you being able to win that match?
I think yeah, because they a lot of the time they were out rotating and like taking the aggressive and winning the brawls before we could get set up. So I decided we're going to play with our big boy pants on and we're going to shit on them, and that's exactly what we did.
Indeed, indeed. I have one last question. We noticed in these fights that Leo on the other team was absolutely popping off. Did you guys have to make any adjustments? We actually noticed in one of the maps he did 40,000 damage. How did you
Oh,
guys adjust to that?
Jesus Christ, bro. Was Leo on the Echo? Cause
Yes,
Yes,
he was.
yes.
It
okay,
was on
yeah,
Eichenwald.
yeah, yeah, dude. He was tearing us a new hole. Okay, so basically, what we did was we decided to ignore him and bully their tanks, and we somehow won. So
I guess that's one way to do it. And before you go, you will be playing the winner of Coag versus Monarchy, which is being played tomorrow at 9 p.m. Do you have any last words to say to whoever wins that match, or any last words you want to say to Blues Clues Bandits?
listen, I really want to say GG to Blues Clues Bandits. Very creative name, probably second place on the name tier list, and also, uh, no other comments for tomorrow's night's match because I'm not even sure if I'll be able to play our next game.
Oh no.
GG.
All right, well, it was a pleasure having you on. Razorblade, any last comments?
Before we go, we do have another match at 10 p.m. on twitch.tv/Owlet tournament. Our winners finals, Meow Legion versus Storybook Village. Make sure to tune into that. But other than that, SpongeBob Mac and Cheese taking a 3-1 over Blues Clues Bandits, and will be moving on to our winners semifinals. But other than that, thank you for watching. Owlet Season 3.9. I'm Razorblade04. My partner is Jampy, and make sure to tune into our other matches. And thank you.
Thank you very much.